Hey there, welcome to day 14 of our SOAP framework. Today we're going to be talking about the PP, or the progress that we're making. The P in the SOAP framework stands for progress. Are we making progress? Are we moving in the direction we want to go from where we are to where we want to be? Because if we're not, we need to make some course corrections. So how do we do that? Well, we have to know what direction we're moving in. Yesterday we picked an action. We took that action. At least I hope you took that action. I know I did, to do something about my arms. So what did you do? And how do you know that what you did worked or not? Did it move you closer to what you want or further away from what you want? If it moved you closer to what you want, then it worked, and we might want to do more of it, or we might want to change the intensity or change what we're doing or tweak what we're doing a little bit to get us even more results. If it moved us away from what we want, or if it was neutral and we don't know yet, maybe we need to do it a few more days. If I'm doing arm exercises every day, do I think in one day that I'm going to massively see change in the shape and the tone of my arms? Probably not. Very unrealistic expectation, right? But I can tell, do my arms hurt today because I was lifting weights yesterday? Yeah, a little bit. So that's probably having an impact and moving me the direction I want to go with respect to the physical area and aspect of my life that I'm working on. So progress is all about, am I moving toward what I want or away from what I want? It's a pretty simple measure, right? And it's pretty easy for us on a gut level or an instinctual level to know if we're moving in the right direction or not. Sometimes we hide it from ourselves. We don't let ourselves know whether we're moving in the right or the wrong direction in different areas or aspects of our life. But physically, we usually know. It's usually pretty easy to see, literally see on our bodies or feel on our bodies what's going on. Our bodies are this incredible consciousness facilitator. I can't remember who I learned this from, probably Abraham Hicks or something. I can't remember exactly. It might have been Lynn Grabhorn. But I've heard it over and over again from a lot of very wise teachers and gurus, much wiser than I am, about our body is a clear, it might have been Ricky, can't remember her last name. Anyway, but it is indeed an indicator, and it's like a measuring stick or a barometer or a ruler that's telling us exactly what's going on with us. Not what's going on with anybody else, but what's going on with us. So today, our exercise for really looking at progress is a longer term exercise. Now, I learned this in a trading program at my first corporate job, and it was in a Louis Tice training. It's called a Lifeline exercise. And I'm going to show you my funky Lifeline and describe to you how we go about creating this. This is, first thing we want to do is we need to draw a line. I was born in 1960, so mine starts in 1960. Whenever you were born, that's when your Lifeline starts. Then I go all the way to 2021 because that's the year we're in now. And then I like to put an arrow continuing, and sometimes I put the little infinity symbol to make me remember that I'm not going to not live after this year. I'm going to continue to live on and on. And I can't predict the future, so guess what? I don't have any events past 2021. Now, there's some events in 2021 I can probably put on here, but the first thing we want to do is take a piece of paper or a big piece of cardboard or whatever works for you and draw a line on the bottom of that, or toward the bottom, from the year you're born to now and continuing onward, because we all want to continue onward. Then think about highlights and high and low times in your life, events in your life. And it doesn't have to be high or low. Just think about different events that have happened in your life. For example, I'm going to grab a magnifying glass and tell you some of mine. Mine, of course, I was born. Then, I had a bunch of lots of experiences. I fell on a tricycle when I was 2 and ripped my mouth open and made me have a crooked smile forever. Then when I was 3, for JFK's funeral, I fell back on a table and cracked my head open and had to have 12 stitches in my head. And that wasn't as traumatic as having to get my hair cut, because my hair was long and it had been growing my whole life. Then I had tonsillitis a lot and a lot of childhood illnesses. Those are on here. Then I fell on my bike. I got slivers in my feet that were like really long, and my dad, I had to have those operated on. All kinds of stuff. So like we got a pool. I put puberty on here. Prom, drinking age at 18, where I worked in the summers, different jobs I've had, kidney surgery, eye surgery. I originally did this with respect to what were events that impacted my health and my physical being. And what we do is we create this, we just put a bunch of life events on here. And I like to use the same lifeline for different areas and aspects of my life. Physical things in our life, you know, it's easy to think about those as highlights and put them on our timeline. And then as I remember things, I add them on my timeline. Then what I like to do is take a colored marker, and for, say for physical, I do red. And so I'm going to make a red high and low point. If this line up here would be the ultimate, best, perfect health in all areas and aspects of my life, you know, Olympic athlete level of fitness and health and energy and everything, this top line would represent the absolute ultimate in positivity. Then I like to pick and just graph these events on my lifeline and say high, low, high, low, high, low. Well, my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, I actually would probably put that one below the line because I think dead is below the line. It's something I never want to do again. But that would be the only one that would be below my lifeline, right? Everything else is above the lifeline because I'm alive. And then I just make a graph of that. And what I do is I look at that graph and I look for trends, patterns, connections. And the reason I like to do it for different areas and aspects of my life as we work through the challenge is then I see where there are connections and relationships. Oh, when I am feeling sick or unhealthy, I am also having a less positive mindset. That's a definite correlation and something I need to address and learn from so that when I'm feeling physically bad, I work on my mindset and my emotions so that they don't drag down to the level of my physical being and they help to pull my physical well-being up. So I look for connections, I look for trends, I look for what does this show me? What does looking back on my life show me? What lessons do I need to learn? What lessons have I learned? What lessons better I learn or I'm gonna repeat things because I like to look for patterns. Like I look for patterns in my health, and as my health is having challenges, I'm having challenges in other areas and aspects of my life. When I'm sick and bedridden, it's pretty hard to be working on my finances and making a living and working. And so we want to know what those are. And our action item for today is just to do this. Start to map out, even if it's just on a napkin, start to map out your lifeline. It's like our lifeline on our hands. You know, I always wondered why mine split in the middle. Well, now I know why. 50, I had a sudden cardiac arrest. But it's like our lifeline on our hand. It's full of cracks and crevices, which are different events that happen in our life. So draw out your lifeline and then either share one item, one lesson learned, one thing you saw, one connection, one really interesting aha you had from doing this exercise for your physical well-being, or share the results of your action yesterday. The action you took, did it move you toward what you want? That would be positive. Away from what you want, negative, or was it neutral? Or it's a question mark because it's too early to tell. So that is our assignment for today. That's how we know if we're making progress or not. And this lifeline exercise is an incredibly powerful exercise. I've been using it for 35, 40 years to manage and understand myself better. And that's what the purpose really of this challenge is about, is to understand ourselves better and to do what works for us to make changes and challenges automatic. All right, any questions? Ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow, and we are going to start on, I think, financial. We'll do financial because that's always people's biggest concern, whether they admit it or not, is how do I deal with financial changes in my life. All right, have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.